Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to discuss some reference to the context, questions and answers from The Merchant of Venice. The first extract is from Act 5, Scene 1, The Merchant of Venice. Let us read the first extract. Portia, what ring gave you, my lord? Not that, I hope, which you received of me. Bassanio, if I could add a lie unto a fault, I would deny it. But you see my finger hath not the ring upon it, it is gone. Lines 184 to 188. The first extract. Let us quickly move on to the questions and answers. Question number 1. On what occasion had Portia presented this ring to Bassanio? How does Portia react to Bassanio's words in the extract? Bassanio reveals that he does not have the ring with him anymore. What is Portia's reaction? In the first question, there are two subparts, change paragraphs. Keep this in mind. The answer now. On what occasion had Portia presented this ring to Bassanio? Portia had presented this ring to Bassanio as a token of her love for him after the latter chose the right casket. After the latter, that is, after Bassanio chose the right casket. You need to write this much. This much is enough. Now, the second part of question 1. How does Portia react to Bassanio's words in the extract? Portia pretends to be unaware of the fact that Bassanio presented the ring to Balthazar, Portia disguised as a lawyer. The key word here is Portia pretends to be unaware of this fact. She speaks as if she doesn't know anything at all. She expresses her annoyance by saying that Bassanio's heart is empty of loyalty, like his finger, which is empty and has no ring on it. Here the key element is she expresses her annoyance. Annoyance is important. Bassanio's heart is empty of loyalty, like his finger, which is empty. She swears by heaven that she will never lie in bed with him until she sees her ring. She pretends to be angry. Actually, she is teasing Bassanio. This is Portia's reaction to Bassanio's words in the extract. She is actually teasing Bassanio. I hope I have made myself clear. Now, moving on to question number 2. In what way does Bassanio defend himself? Bassanio knows very well that Portia is annoyed, irritated, angry. Therefore, he defends himself. And how does he do so? Let us read the answer and find out. Bassanio says that the intensity of Portia's annoyance with him will surely diminish if she knows the person to whom he has given the ring, for whose sake he has given it, and how unwillingly he has parted with it. You will have to mention for whom, to whom, and how unwilling he was to part with it. He has been compelled. He did not do it willingly. He has been compelled to send the ring after a doctor of civil law who saved Antonio's life. He was unable to recognize Portia, disguised as Balthazar. Now, Balthazar, remember, is not the servant. The servant, Balthazar, is someone else. Dr. Bellario is someone else. And Portia, disguised as Balthazar, is someone else. She is Portia herself. You must keep this in mind. Some of you have doubt regarding this. I have made it clear. No woman has received it from him. This is equally important. Bassanio has not given the ring to any woman. In fact, being overcome by the demands of courtesy as well as shame, he has given it to the lawyer. This is how he defends himself. You will have to write the answers according to the question. Read the question carefully and then frame your answers. And in order to write the questions and answers, what will you do? You must read the text thoroughly. Question number 3. Who intervenes to stop the quarrel and what does he say? Antonio intervenes to stop the quarrel, stating that he is the unhappy subject. I have quoted that he is the unhappy subject that is the cause of these quarrels. So this is a brief answer. Next, question number 4. What is the great surprise in store for Bassanio and Gratiano? The great surprise is the revelation that Porshia is the doctor of laws at the trial who has played the pivotal role in saving Antonio from the clutches, C-L-U-T-C-H-E-S, from the clutches of Shylock. Bassanio has not been able to recognize her. Gratiano, here the spelling of Gratiano is G-R-A-T-I-A-N-O. Gratiano comes to know that Nerissa is the lawyer's clerk. They also get back their rings. This is the great surprise in store for both of them. Question 5. Porshia and Nerissa have good news. Both of them have good news. And what is the good news? Justify this. Porshia delivers a letter to Antonio containing the good news that Antonio's merchandise ships have returned to harbor unexpectedly and have come laden with rich cargo. The first good news, the first piece of good news. The second piece of good news, Nerissa gives Lorenzo and Jessica a special deed of gift from Shylock, according to which the couple will inherit all his property and his belongings when he dies. This is extract number 2 from The Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 1, line 400 onwards. Portia, I humbly do desire your grace of pardon. I must away this night toward Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth. Duke, I am sorry that your leisure serves you not. Antonio, gratify this gentleman, for in my mind you are much bound to him. This is extract number 2 and I have 5 questions prepared for you. Let us read the answers now. Question number 1. Why does Porshia ask to be excused? Subpart 1. What reason does she give? Subpart 2. What is in her mind at this time? Subpart 3. So you need to change paragraphs. The first question. Why does Porshia ask to be excused? The Duke requests Porshia, disguised as Balthazar, to come with him to his house and have dinner with him. Porshia thus asks to be excused for her inability to do so. This is the first answer. What reason does she give? I need the reason here. She must leave Venice that night for Padua, and it will only be appropriate that she must set out on her journey at once. This is the reason why she is unable to attend the Duke's dinner at his house. The third question, what is in her mind at this time? At this time, Porshia perhaps wants to leave for Belmont so that she can reach her house before the return of Bassanio. This is in her mind at present. She wants to leave the place. The next one. Why does the Duke call Porshia a gentleman? Why does the Duke want Antonio to gratify him? Porshia has disguised herself as a civil doctor of laws named Balthazar. She comes to Venice on behalf of Dr. Bellario to represent Antonio at the trial. She is unrecognizable and therefore the Duke addresses her as a gentleman. Nobody present there is able to recognize her. Next, why does the Duke want Antonio to gratify him? Turning to Antonio, the Duke asks him to gratify Porshia because he, that is Antonio, owes him a heavy debt of gratitude. Porshia saves Antonio from the clutches of the cruel Jew Shylock. This is the answer, and see, I have changed the paragraph. Next one. What does Bassanio now offer to Porshia and why? In one question, there are two areas which you need to focus on. What does Bassanio offer? And the next one, and why? You will do it together. And the next subpart, what does Antonio say in support of Bassanio's offer? The first answer, what does Bassanio now offer to Porshia and why? Bassanio offers Porshia the 3,000 ducats which were originally payable to the Jew. He offers this money of his own free will to compensate her for all the trouble she has taken for the sake of him and Antonio. They are saved by Portia's wisdom from paying terrible penalties. This is how you write your reference to the context answers. Read the text thoroughly so that you can identify the context and answer very easily. Change paragraph. What does Antonio say in support of Bassanio's offer? In addition to this money, Antonio will always feel obliged to Porshia. Bassanio will feel the same, and they will always harbor feelings of love for her and be always ready to serve her in any way possible. Still, they are not able to recognize Porshia. They will always be grateful to Balthazar. And who is Balthazar? Balthazar is Porshia in disguise. Next. How does Porshia respond to Bassanio's offer? Porshia says that she is fully satisfied by her success in having saved Antonio from Shylock's clutches. She thinks herself to have been well rewarded for her pains by the success at the trial. She has never felt tempted by monetary gain. She has not helped Antonio for money. She requests them not to fail to recognize her if and when they happen to meet again. So this is ironical. So he requests them not to fail to recognize her. In the first instance, are they able to recognize her? The answer is no. Here we find Portia's wit and wisdom. So with a touch of humor, Porshia tries to tease Bassanio. The next one. Question 5. What are the two things Porshia asks for? Bring out the humor and irony in the situation. Porshia asks for Bassanio's gloves as a token of remembrance and his ring as a token of his affection and friendship for her. So, these are the two things, the gloves and the ring. Next, bring out the humor and irony in the situation. Porshia asks for these two things deliberately. This is crucial, deliberately, with a purpose in mind. Porshia asks for these two things deliberately and first asks for the gloves so that she can take advantage of the situation. She insists on having the ring and Bassanio must not refuse to give it. This is humor. The irony of the situation is that Bassanio is unable to recognize Porshia throughout this episode and his efforts to convince her not to take the ring are futile.